Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So in today's video I'll show you two different versions of how we can paint a simple tree. And for that, for the first version you don't need anything. You need a big round shape like this and then the trunk area. And the trunk area is totally up to you, like how you like to keep it. So I have created a bigger trunk having a Y kind of pattern towards the end. So basically two branch towards the leaf side and one big trunk, and the rest of the area I have kept for the leaves and all. In the second version we are repeating this similar stuff, but in this one I am creating two trunk and basically I am creating multiple groups of branches. So in this way you can make your life a little easier because you know in which area you want to keep little darker and lighter color. In the first version we are going to do it randomly, so that might be little difficult, but in the second one we have little process, so that is why we have divided it into multiple branches. So this is the guideline that we needed. If it is not visible, don't worry at all, because anyways we are going to paint it using watercolor. This is only for guiding purpose, so don't worry about that if you are not able to see it. Now I have created the lighter color of green, mixing lemon yellow and cobalt blue color, and keep it on the lighter side only to start with. And with this particular color you can start creating something like this randomly, because we have not divided this particular one into multiple branches, right? So we need to do it randomly based on your instinct. So think about it, how you like to keep your tree, and accordingly randomly you can put a little bit of color here and there to make it look like this is a big tree. So with the help of lighter color of green I have created something like this for the first one. Also keep some negative space in between, so that is something needed. I purposefully have not painted all the area. I have kept a few negative space as well, so that is something needed and important. So this is the first layer. If you want you can add more color to make it on the wet side. So basically we need our sheet on the wet side for the second layer, but if it is not wet, that is also fine. Now for the second one I am creating multiple groups like these. So again you can do it randomly, but this time we have divided our tree into multiple groups. So you can add something like this in a group. Basically in the first one we did randomly, so you might get different result based on how you have painted the overall structure. So in this one we have created multiple branches, so accordingly I'm adding colors. So something like this we did for the second one. Now we're done with the second one as well. For the first layer we are doing both the trees side by side, so repeating the similar stuff for both the trees, and both the trees are also pretty much similar to each other. The only difference is the process, so that is why I am showing you. And around the edge you can just add some fine element to make it look like these are the leaves. Now for this second layer again I am mixing lemon yellow and cobalt blue color, but this time I am adding more blue into it to make it little darker. So we don't need too dark, but darker than the previous color that we have added. And the light is coming from the right side, so we are going to make sure we are not going to add darker color onto the right side. So add again this particular color like we did in the previous layer, but make sure you are able to see the previous color as well. So we need to fill it, but in such a way that we can see the previous layer as well. We need little bit of negative space in between, so make sure you're leaving negative space. And right side of the tree I am keeping it as it is, so that we can have little lighter color at one side, so that it is gonna look like the light is coming from the right side. So that is why I have kept a right side portion of tree on the lighter side, so I'm not adding the darker color in that particular area. And likewise we have painted both the trees side by side. So this is our second layer. Now we are going to add another layer. So basically watercolor is all about adding more and more layers into your painting. Start with the lighter color and end with the darker color. Whatever element you are doing, that's the funda with the watercolor basically. Now for the third layer, in the existing green color I am adding more blue into it to make it more darker, and then I am going around again at one side, leaving another side little lighter because light is coming from the right side. And make sure you're able to see both the layers that you have painted so far. So add third layer and be mindful about it that you're not overdoing it. So we need to see the transition of color, and that is why we are adding these layers, right? So do it accordingly. So keep adding the darker color again at one side like these, and you will see a nice composition at the end. And do the same thing for the another layer as well. And basically now you can see, right, both the trees are pretty much similar, although we have started with little different approach, but similar thing we are doing it at the end. So either you can keep it like this or else you can add one more layer. So I'm adding one more layer, adding more blue into my green color, and this is more towards bluish, but this is gonna look good. And I'm adding a little bit of this particular color around my branches to make few area little darker as compared to the any other area. But in this particular layer, don't overdo it. Just little hint of this particular darker color here and there is fine to finish. So add the darkest color and finish the branches. In the end, with the help of darker color itself, we are going to add small element around the edge of our tree to make it look like small leaves are visible from the distance as well. So that is something we need to do, but that is we are going to do with the fine brush. So with the help of very fine brush, you can start adding small leaf kind of pattern around the edge of the tree branches that you have created. But before that, I have added little bit of brown color in between my tree area, which is again absolutely optional, but I like to add little hint of brown here and there to finish. So that is what I did. And with the help of fine pen and with the help of little darker color, you can just go around the edge and you can have small element like this to make it look like these are the leaves visible. So do it with the darker color at one side, basically left side with the darker color, and we are going to repeat the same thing with the lighter color of green towards the lighter side. So basically we need to repeat the similar thing throughout the edge that you have, but with the darker color and with the lighter color, and we need to repeat the same thing for both the trees that you have. Now with the help of lighter color, so basically lemon yellow and little hint of blue into it, and with this particular lighter color again I am repeating the same thing, adding small element around the edge at one side from where light is coming, and that is how you can define the lighter tone and darker tone of your tree. And keep doing it until you're satisfied. This is the most important step. To be frank, you can keep the layers like only 2 layers or 3 layers. You don't have to keep adding the layers like we did for this particular video, but this particular step, adding small element around the edge, is absolutely important and needed. So don't forget to add these and take all your time to do something like this to finish. Now with the help of brown color you can have your tree trunk. So for the tree trunk we are not doing anything fancy. I'm just adding brown color for the tree trunk area. That's all I'm doing, so nothing fancy as such. If you want, you can have little lighter tone, darker tone of the brown to have little texture around your tree trunk area as well, but that is something I'm not doing for this particular video. And do the same thing for the second tree as well. And you can also have little visibility of trunks in between the branches that we have created. So that is also something you can do, but it is better if we have more negative space in between. In that case you can have something like that. You can still have, but just a little visibility here and there. And we are done with both the trees. Now additionally I am adding little base around the tree area, which is again optional. And likewise you can utilize these tree into your landscape. You can paint sky and then you can have a big tree in between and the grasses around it, and that's all we needed for a landscape, I guess. So please try that as well. And we are done with today's video. I hope this video is useful for you guys. Please do subscribe to my channel if you like my videos. See you all in the next video with one more simple tutorial, and thank you so much for watching.